Good day, everyone. I am Maricar Mantong from BEd 3B, and today I will be sharing my insights on a very timely and relevant topic, the curricular modification in basic education post-pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic changed many aspects of education, and because of that, the curriculum had to adjust to meet the needs of both learners and teachers. Let me now answer a few questions that will help us understand how these changes affect us as future educators. The first question is, why do you think the curriculum had to change after the pandemic? Do you agree with the changes? Why or why not? For me, yes, I agree with the changes in the curriculum after the pandemic. The pandemic affected how students learn. Before, the curriculum focused mostly on classroom learning, but during the lockdowns, we had to switch to online and modular learning. It was hard for many students, especially those with limited access to gadgets and internet. So, the Department of Education made changes to the curriculum to focus more on the most important skills and subjects. This is called the Most Essential Learning Competencies, or MELCs. It helped reduce the pressure on both teachers and students. The new curriculum also includes ways to support students' well-being and mental health, which became more important during the pandemic. These changes help us prepare for future emergencies and ensure that learning continues no matter what happens. That's why I believe these changes were necessary and helpful. Okay, let's proceed to the second question. What learning style worked best for you during the pandemic? How will you use that in your future classroom? During the pandemic, blended learning worked best for me. In our class, we were divided into two sets, Set A and Set B. Set A would attend face-to-face classes for 1 week, while Set B would study at home using modules. The next week, we would switch. This system helped reduce the number of students in the classroom, making it safer and easier for the teacher to focus on smaller groups. It also gave us time to study on our own using the modules. I learned how to manage my time and study independently while still getting help from the teacher during face-to-face classes. In my future classroom, I will use blended learning if needed, especially during times when regular face-to-face classes are not possible. I will also use it to give students more time for review and independent learning. This approach helps students become more responsible and flexible in how they learn. Okay, third question. If you were teaching in a place with weak internet and few gadgets, how would you help your students learn using the new curriculum? If I am teaching in a place with poor internet and very few gadgets, I would focus on printed modules and activity sheets. I would make sure the instructions are simple, clear, and easy to follow so that students can work on them even without much help. I would also add examples and simple illustrations. If possible, I would coordinate with the barangay or parents to distribute the modules on time and collect them for checking. I would also explore using SMS or phone calls to guide students if they have mobile phones. In some cases, I can do home visits, especially for students who are struggling. I believe learning doesn't always need the internet, as long as we plan well and keep the lessons meaningful. I will also encourage parents or older siblings to assist in learning when possible. The goal is to help every student learn, even with limited resources. Fourth question, how can you take care of your students' mental health and emotions as a future teacher? Taking care of students' mental health is just as important as teaching lessons. As a future teacher, I will first make sure that my classroom feels safe and welcoming. I want my students to know that it's okay to feel different emotions and that I am there to support them. One specific way I will do this is by starting the day with a check-in activity, like letting students share their mood using emojis or colors. I will also give them time to rest or do fun and creative activities that help them relax. I will avoid giving too much pressure and try to notice if a student seems sad, stressed, or quiet. In those cases, I will talk to them privately or reach out to their parents. Lastly, I will teach my students simple ways to handle emotions, like breathing exercises or journaling. These small steps can help create a healthy and happy learning environment. Okay, fifth question. What are the good and bad sides of using digital tools like Zoom or Google Classroom? How can you make sure all your students can access them? Digital tools like Zoom and Google Classroom have both good and bad sides. The good side is that they help learning continue even during emergencies or bad weather. Students can attend classes, submit assignments, and communicate with teachers easily. Lessons can also be recorded, so students can review them anytime. However, the bad side is that not all students have access to strong internet or personal gadgets. Some families share one phone or have no internet at all. To help with this, I would give printed materials or modules for students who cannot go online. I will also be flexible with deadlines and allow students to submit work in different ways, like through text, pictures, or drop boxes. It's important to check who needs help and make sure that everyone has a chance to learn. I believe that combining digital tools with flexible and inclusive methods is the best way to support all students. Second to the last question. Why is it important for teachers to understand laws like RA 10533 and DepEd's BELCP? How do they support curriculum changes? It is very important for teachers to understand education laws like RA 10533 and DepEd's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan or BELCP. RA 10533 is the law that strengthened the K-12 program in the Philippines. It focuses on improving the curriculum so that students can develop 21st century skills like critical thinking and communication. Meanwhile, BELCP was made during the pandemic to help schools continue teaching despite lockdowns. It guided teachers in using distance learning methods like online, modular, and blended learning. By understanding these laws, teachers can make better decisions in their teaching. They will know what the curriculum wants to achieve and how to adjust during emergencies. These laws also ensure that the education system is fair and updated. When teachers follow them, students receive quality education that fits today's needs and challenges. Okay, finally, the last question. How will you teach both academic lessons and life skills like problem solving and communication at the same time in your class? Teaching academic lessons and life skills together is very important because students need both knowledge and the ability to use it in real life. I will do this by using group activities, projects, and real-life situations in my lessons. For example, during a science lesson, I can give a problem like, how can we reduce plastic waste in school? Students will work in groups to discuss ideas, share their thoughts, and come up with solutions. This way, they learn the lesson content while also practicing communication, teamwork, and problem solving. I will also ask open-ended questions to help students think deeper and express their opinions. Another way is through role-playing and storytelling, where they can act out situations and learn values like empathy and respect. Life skills can be taught naturally within our lessons, as long as we plan them with real purpose and connect them to everyday life. To sum it up, as future teachers, we must be open to change. The pandemic taught us that education must be flexible, inclusive, and focused on what truly matters. By understanding curriculum changes and applying them in creative ways, we can help our students learn and grow, no matter the situation. Thank you for listening, and may we all continue to grow as educators who care, adapt, and inspire. Bye!